Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the second season, of course, of the University Alliance Cup featuring Wild Rift, of course. The top 12 collegiate Wild Rift teams in the Philippines are all here competing to raise that campus torch and a prize pool of over 100,000 pesos, the right to call themselves the best in the country, and for scholarships. Once again, I am Naisu. I'm joined here by Dash. And we're going to be your casters for this upcoming series between Loyola Gaming and SULO.
Yeah, ADMU Loyola versus PNU SULO. This would be an interesting matchup because ADMU before they were at the bottom of the pack and now they are on the middle. So I think this is a good time to actually play against PNU because PNU the game yesterday
Hmm.
they lost a bit during that game. So
Yeah.
this is gonna be like a comeback day for them. So this could be an interesting matchup on whoever goes on top of each other after this.
Yeah, and I think PNU really needs to, they really need to grab a win,
Mm-hmm.
especially today, because, they need to get on that positive side here for the groups. And we don't really know, how this game's going to unfold. Both these teams have great players, and it's just going to come down to what type of team composition this time they're going to play
Yeah.
around with. And if they change anything up from their games yesterday, of course, we saw them both play yesterday.
Yep.
And are they going to stick with what they went through with yesterday, or are they going to try to execute better, or are they going to try to change it up? So that will be very interesting to see today.
Yeah, Admo's game yesterday was actually interesting because they went and got their momentum. After nun, medyo dumali na sa kanila yung games, and also at least if they could actually get that momentum, carry that on today, they could actually have a chance to actually fight PNU because PNU is kind of out of momentum just because they lost
Yeah.
0-2 kahapon. So
Yeah,
this would
true.
be really really interesting. The momentum versus an actual good team. So let's just see later if they would be able to deliver.
Yeah, and before we do jump into drafting, guys, and getting this game underway, we get asked this sometimes here, so we want to let you know if you are interested in AcadArena for your own college. All you have to do is first off, the AcadArena Alliance program is here for you guys. That's the most important thing. Alliance member clubs get access to exclusive tournaments, of course, such as this mentorship, even support, and of course, the Globe Esports Merit
Ooh.
Scholarship.
Yep.
Everything you guys need to know about getting your college involved, you can find at acadarena.com/alliance. And now we are going to be
Perfect.
going into that draft dash.
Yeah, this draft is really good. There's a lot of openings from this draft. Altershot can actually take that Akali if ever this Garen is the last ban from the side of Sulo. So this would be good because Akali can be flexed on top and mid. So that doesn't give a lot of information. And what's open here also would be another Diana. Diana is
Yeah.
also open, so that could be another pick. If ever Loyola Gaming picks a Diana, there could be a counter, which is an Akali.
Yeah. And I think the interesting thing here is, we've seen Diana being picked quite often if she's open. Also, Braum being that ban, Braum and Ziggs, this does leave a lot open. It does leave a lot of strong picks open. Diana being one of them, and really basing off yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
seeing Alter Shot, we had Alter Shot,
Yep.
the Baron later, I believe. He is
Yep.
very strong on a lot of Baron picks, and it'll be interesting to see what they lock in for Alter Shot here, and of course, TK as well.
Yeah, I think so from what I'm seeing right now, TK could also be a potential pick here because his listen has not been
Yeah,
there. So he might
exactly.
be
Yeah.
able to actually pick it up. And Cohen here has an Akali. So this is kind of
Hmm.
interesting. I want to know if Sulo would try to deny those picks and take them for themselves. I don't know if they can use it because Blasphemy, I know he uses a lot of the meta. So I don't know if Lee Sin is up there. So this would be really, really good. So from what I'm seeing, Loyola Gaming should have a chance to actually go and pick their comfort picks here.
Yeah, I mean, long story short, Dash, a lot is open, for the taking based off these first bans, and as you mentioned, and almost pretty much every series, every game is really going to come down to junglers, and I feel like when people ask,
Mm-hmm.
who sets that pace for the game, who really has that big impact, you know, on
Yep.
the entire game, at least
Yeah.
in the beginning, and then leading into mid game, late game. And jungling is that role. And I feel like it's usually we see here, of
Woo.
course, Lee Sin being shown locked in there, not surprised, right? Not
Yep.
surprised.
Yep. Yep.
And Lee Sin is one of those junglers. That's what I was getting into. Lee Sin is one of those junglers that just has so much threat, so much like in his package as a champion. And
Mm-hmm.
not to mention, even if he falls back, if Lee Sin builds a GA, he still has huge potential to steal objectives and to
Yeah.
make plays, and really well
Ooh.
placed, you know, kicks and
Yep.
knockups and everything else really can turn the tide of battles.
Yeah, and now they went in for the two picks. I was expecting the Diana here. There's no surprise. And the Rengar against the
Yeah,
Lee Sin. So this is kind of good because both of them have good early to mid game potential. So this could actually be, yo, okay. So Kuwain actually got the Akali. So Akali was the winning champion of Kuwain last
going,
yesterday.
yeah.
So that would be really good here because it has not been banned. TK for sure would get this Gragas. So they have a lot of potential for disengage. They have the Dragon's Rage, they have the casts. So based on this team composition, they have a way of going in and going out. So it's well balanced for me here.
Yeah, I'm really liking, you know, the draft so far for LG here. Again, Coane on the Akali, what a show yesterday.
Mhm.
And then they get to pick up the Gragas. So
Yeah.
Gragas most likely going to that Baron lane, you know, most
Oh, right,
likely.
right, right. Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see. Of course, Gragas is a huge flex pick. You can put him in many, many spots. But that's my assumption there. And
Hmm.
Gragas is just one of those champions too. If he chooses to go and build him kind of tanky, he's
Yep.
such a good front laner. You know, not aside from the fact that he's a huge champion in general, but like
Yeah.
he's just a very big tanky boy that
Yep.
can just cause havoc with the explosive cast. So I like this draft coming out from LG. Tristana Janna, you know, just to cap it off there, really good protection potential from Monsoon. And again, Gragas paired with Janna is just so much chaos as far as,
Mhm.
you know, putting people where they don't want to be.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, and
like
that's
an
what
emergency button,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly. And you can use it in so many ways, and that's what I like about LG's draft here. What can you say about Sulu's draft?
Yeah,
Sulo.
so Solo's draft is really good. I really like when I see teams using Rengar, then they pair it up with a Galio. So
Yeah.
that gives Rengar safety. If he goes in, picks up one, when the hero's entrance comes in, that is just big. It's just big disruption with this team
Yeah.
composition. So with the Galio and also the Diana, that's basically like if you have an Oriana, that's basically like ball delivery. That's easy setups by setups. So most of the time, this team would need to actually coordinate when they use their ultimate. So this is what I want to see here.
Yep.
Coordination. Yeah.
Yeah, coordination, you know, execution, very, very important here for always, like no matter what team is playing,
Yep.
no matter what composition they have, execution is really that answer. And you know, here we go into the first game of the series with Loyola Gaming versus PNU Sulo. And you know, we have Koane here in the mid lane on the Sakali versus a Diana, and I think that's a really good matchup that can lead into, you know, some interesting things, and not to mention, I
Yeah.
think it's going to really lead into those first scuttles that come up in about a minute as well.
And it's really good right here. Having two assassins in the mid lane. This would be like whoever puts up the advantage or whoever of the junglers actually go in for that first gank would give the advantage to this because both of these mid laners are thirsty for resources. They need
Yeah,
to have ganks for them to actually be effective or maybe transition to the mid game. But what's good here is that for ADMU, TK would just need to focus on mid because Gragas is not that thirsty for resources.
yeah. Yeah, and I think, you know, Gragas versus Fiora in terms of that matchup in general, you know, I think Gragas can just really comfortably farm up, and
Yeah,
you know, we
he has
have
the
some poke
passive.
here. Yeah, he has a passive, he has some
Yeah.
healing. He's, you know, pretty tanky. And
Mhm.
although Fiora is going to win in the early game, I think as time goes on, you know, Gragas will be fine up there.
Yep.
And again, it's just more so about that utility. You know, Fiora, does she offer that same amount of utility that Gragas offers his team? And you know, I think really I would give it to
Ooh.
Gragas. And you can see here the first scuttle is up. They're
Yep.
going to be crashing down on it from all sides. Akali also coming up from there. Coane looking to zone people
Oh,
out here. Does
okay.
have that passive proc as well, but they actually got the scuttle
Oh.
there. Getting jumped on. TK does have to dash out of there. And Blasphemy and Flacco working their way up to this top portion of the scuttle now as well.
Yeah, good coordination coming in from PNU SULO. Taking those scutters would actually help this Rengar. Blasphemy right now is on a good facing. So this is just about the facing of the junglers. And now that Blasphemy has the upper hand, it would be better for him. He's now almost level 5. Getting that ultimate is crucial for him to actually get those first ganks in. And especially when the dragon comes up, having this advantage could be crucial for Rengar. Especially Rengar can burst down a lot of champions on this composition, especially that Janna. But just discounting the fact that Janna still has Monsoon though. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
has that Monsoon, you know, and
Yeah.
I like this with Blasphemy, you know, has that challenging smite as well, and
Mm-hmm.
we've seen just every Rengar that has been played in this tournament, you know, the amount of burst that can come out of Rengar in general, and you pair it with a challenging smite, it can happen in a blink of an eye, especially
Mm-hmm.
if whoever gets first blood here, you know, we haven't had a first blood yet, but
Yep.
it's often that it ends up going to whoever's playing Rengar. So,
Yep.
you know, once the ultimate's secured, and again, it will be interesting to see how this thing goes into
Oh,
the next objective being that Cloud Drake in a little bit. And here you
he's
go,
going for
Cohen, you
vision.
get caught out here, and here's
Oh
what I was
no.
exactly talking about. Able to get the kill, and he gets it just in time. I was just mentioning Dash, first blood going to Rengar, and there it just happened.
It happened exactly as you said it, Naisu. So this is gonna be interesting. Blasphemy having that first kill is crucial because you know Rengar's passive really needs those first kills for him to actually rack up on those attack damage.
Yep.
So this is what we need. 20 seconds on the clock on the Cloud Drake. It is really needed for both teams because if you want to actually have these assassins to actually have a better time on engaging, they need this movement speed from the Cloud Drake to actually close the gap easier.
Yeah, Cloud Drake, very valuable, especially for a Kai'Sa, you know. So
Yep.
PNU definitely wants, both teams definitely want that Cloud Drake. But I think value-wise, going over here to PNU will really be
Yep.
troublesome for LG if they're not able to
Mhm.
contest it and get that. So I'm sure we're going to see setups here. Again, Flacco on this Galio, able to come in with a hero's entrance if he needs to. So, and again, we have Anito up here pushing that top lane as well.
Yeah, that was kind of expected for Fiora to actually do this. This is basically Fiora's job right now.
Yep.
But right now, seeing PNU having the advantage, having the better position on this dragon.
There's TK, lands the wave. Is he going to go in and is he going to try to steal? There's the taunt
He's
coming
not.
out just in case he's not going to go out. He knows he get taken out. There's a Moonfall, but the heal as well coming down.
Oh,
The
no.
redemption too. There's the Killer Instinct and they take down the Janna. Now they're working on this Tristana. He can't get away. He flashes out, but he's not able to get out. Milend with the kill on top of the Tristana. Greg is going to back away here. Rengar on the hunt. Blasphemy looking for something. Jumps on TK. Can't get the roll off, and that's going to be the flash from TK. And there we go. That is in favor of PNU right there and the Cloud Drake.
Yeah, look at this ROG replay, everybody. They just waited. Look at this shield of Duran from Flacco. And what's wrong there was Paradox trying to get some vision on that side. I mean, it's the job of the support to actually get some vision. But face checking, that push was just... what happened there was just punishing for the members of LG right now. So right now, they're sitting on a 3k gold lead on the side of PNU SULO. This is really not that big. Really easy to actually still catch up for ADMU Loyola Gaming. But right now, what I'm thinking, Nice, is that as a Tristana versus a Kai'Sa matchup, Tristana's power spike is kind of weird. It's like a valley.
Yeah, it's
Early game, he's good. Mid game, he's kind of on the slump. So
Yeah.
he's just gonna wait for that late game. So right now, I think Atricium is on that position right now. That it's a mid game. But Milan in the mid lane,
Oh,
though.
the connect right there. Millen has to
Oh.
flash out. There you go, Cohen. Here comes the hero's entrance. He's not able to hit anything there, but he does survive on this Diana. And there's so much action all over the map. And now you have Rift Herald as well, Dash. So I'm sure you're going to see both teams. And you were just mentioning Tristana being very strong early game. And we saw it there paired with, you know, Cohen and Misakali. And Zia Maze now working to get this turret down so they can transition into a Rift Herald. And Anita's going to go ahead, get that heal up, and continue to just go one-on-one here with Alter Shot in the lane, as they pretty much, this is what they have to do. You know, they have to stay in this lane while the team does the rest of the work around the map.
And I think PNU has the better positioning to get that Rift Herald. And this is what's bad here for LG, but they're gonna go for a fight.
Oh, what a kick. The Moonfall as well, and there's the Killer Instinct. They're trying to get him down right there. Does take out the Janna, and also the Tristana going down. Once again, PNU with the kills here. TK running for his life. Blasphemy with the smite. The
Oh,
challenge
the
fight
damage.
does. Look at the damage Nothing there to connect there for the wave, and now Milan running,
Oh,
Cohen in
Cohen.
trouble, getting taken out as well. Blasphemy on this Rengar, just performing
Yeah.
really, really well here.
Yeah, look at this ROG replay, everybody. Look at how the positioning of LG was really bad here. That good
Nice
kick from
kick.
TK was something, yes, but the fight was basically split up after that.
Yeah.
The members of PNU just converge on one target per target, and that is what's good with PNU. They know who to prioritize, and after getting those key targets, mostly ADMU has no damage after. So that is crucial for this team fights. That's what they need here.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you know, and he
Oh
might get
no.
caught out here. Here comes the taunt.
Oh
He's got
no.
backup coming for him. Yeah, he's going to get taken down. It looks like the flash coming down there. There's a redemption, but it's not going to be enough for Alter Shot on that Gragas. And now Janna and TK here as well. Milan looking to connect. Gets smited. And Rengar also hunting in the bushes here, looking for someone to pounce on. He's going to have the damage here. Rengar once again, and they're going to go ahead and back off for the time being.
Yeah, this is good for PNU SULO. They have the towers down. They have 2 towers down on the side of LG, so they have more map pressure. They can actually just take most of the jungles of LG here. But looking at this, though, Cohen.
Jerk and flip, and here is TK as well. So 1 versus 2. Can Anito handle these two? He's going to flash out Cohen looking, but there goes the ground challenge. And he's going to actually survive that 1 versus 2 right there.
No, death
and
brush.
Anito doing what Fioras do best, and now Alter Shot this time around. Alter Shot, he gets the explosive casting. I don't think he's going to be able to survive. He does get taken out there, and that's going to be trading there for 4 versus 1 on the Alter Shot.
Man, PNU SULO here just is taking over the jungle of LG, and they can't answer back with anything. That is now 10k gold lead, really big. You don't really see a lot of comebacks, but it is possible. So this is gonna be hard for the members of LG here. They need to find something, at least take the shutdown goals of some members of PNU. But look at this TK. Almost falling down.
TK trying to buy time. Anito getting caught with a 4 versus 1 here. They're going to trade Dragon, and here comes the hero's entrance in time. The taunt. What a nice taunt. Anito still alive. Anito's going to just back off here. Cohen looking for a kill. Has the speed, has the passive as well, but now working on Flacco. And here you go. Flacco's in trouble. He does get taken down by Cohen. Cohen now looking to go on Anito. Pops the grand challenge.
Wow, grand
challenge. The shield as well. And Anito once again surviving, but here comes Milan. And late to the party, the whole team is now here. Anito once again still alive, finally gets taken down, and that's going to be a rampage going over to Zaya. Maze on the Kaisa. What a team fight we saw right there.
That's basically an ace for 3 for the members of PNU SULO. And look at this fight right here, Naisu. It was just really good for Anito to actually take over the fight after that. But Milan here just sacrificed his life. But after that, that's good because they were able to take down most of the members. And Zaya Maze is on a rampage. Look at that. Look at how much the gold is of Zaya Maze at this point in the game. That's just crazy.
10.5k, you know, has the Blade of the Ruined King, that Hurricane as well, has that BF Soul, you know, has the 2 items, and it's just, yeah, that was an ace right there, and, you know, just, it went into Rengar sitting at 5-0-5, you know, blasphemy on this Rengar, Anito right here with Cohen, and Anito feeling very confident. I mean, Anito does this Fiora really, really well, kind of bobbing and weaving in and out of these team fights until those abilities are up, especially the riposte, and that was such a good showing on how strong Fiora really can be if played to this type of level of play.
Yeah, if you just play onto those win conditions, especially when you have a Fiora in your team, you need to actually use her to actually split push. And that's what Fiora does. She needs to actually be the distraction that your team needs. But look at this fight right here, guys.
The Rengar there. Alter Shot still tanky, you know, even though we have Blasphemy here on this Rengar, Alter Shot still able to handle that, is tanky there. And yeah, you were just saying, you know, the team here at this point, PNU, having those 2 dragon buffs, you know, Anito can sit in lane and have full confidence in his team that they're going to be okay as they secure, you know, these objectives around the map. And the thing I like about Fiora is, and here we go, under the turret even, but does get explosive cast. It takes lots of turret shots, still going to survive. Oh, never mind. Finally gets taken out here as they start the Baron. And here we go. Is
Oh.
LG able to contest this? Koane actually getting chunked pretty low. There's the taunt. Doesn't land it. Killer
Oh,
Instinct
Killer
coming out as well.
Instinct.
Koane's going to get taken
Whoa.
down. Redemption coming out. Jaina is stuck in a bad position. Pops the Monsoon. TK still alive, but Tristan is going to get taken out right there. And again, this is going to be a Baron play for PNU as they picked off those members of the LG.
This is basically PNU's Baron, no contest whatsoever from them.
Yep.
Look at this ROG replay. So everybody look at this, how the confidence of Zayam is here. He has a lot of items. He can do this. He can get away with going in as an ADC at the front of everybody. Just look at how he works, right? The damage, he hasn't been even touched that much. That is just showing the advantage of PNU SULO here. They can't do anything on this fight right here. So this is just LG, they just did everything that they can with what they have there. So I think what LG needs to do here is think about the next match, because right now PNU SULO is just gonna dominate all over them. Just find a way to actually tie this game up.
Don't lose hope, LG. You can do it, you know. But honestly, like, you know, when you have a Kaisa like this, 4-0-10, very confident, Blasphemy popping that ultimate here. They're gonna just go look for a kill here on Paradox. He does flash out just in time. And as you were saying, when a Kaisa is fully confident, that's where Kaisa really shines, especially with, you know, Killer Instinct just putting herself right into the thick of things. And I like the way that Zayamaze is really playing that Kaisa to that level here. And again, going back to what we were saying before all this action went by, the entire time Anito sitting in the lane, pushing the lane, forcing, you know, Alter Shot to stay in that lane with him. And I like that about Fiora. Fiora in a champion itself is a win condition in itself. You can see right here, Anito once again going under the turret with Alter Shot, gets the cask once again. A very similar story to what happened earlier. These two are just going at it in the Baron lane. And again,
the confidence. Yeah, the confidence of that Fiora. So what's happening here is that Fiora, what they need to do for this Fiora is that they need to actually allocate resources. But there you go, that tower in the bot lane is not going to survive for long though.
Yeah, and Anito has the Baron as well, so has those empowered minions. And as they just go ahead and PNU knocks on the turrets here, getting these tier 3 turrets down, there's not much LG can do because right now they just don't have enough damage to really contest with this. And they're going to be knocking on this Nexus as well if they decide to, because they have all the tools they need. But look at the discipline from PNU. They're going to go ahead and pull it back and just let LG defend here.
Man, they just want to secure it in the best way possible. They need to get those items. When they complete it, that's basically LG's debt right now. That's 20k gold lead. How can you... there's also actually a chance if they want to actually turn this around. Because if the inhibitor turrets are already down, they are all gonna have better chance of getting gold because all those minions are going in their favor because it's always gonna push on their side. So they have a chance if they can hold that off. But I think that's kind of impossible at this point because right now PNU SULO are trying to get in and trying to be converging on one person here though.
Flash and looks to get a Tom, but he's gonna get just knocked away there. And yeah, as you were saying too, and Koane in trouble now. He's gonna have to shroud out of there, but Blasky on the hunt. Is he gonna initiate here? He does have that confidence with his score, his items, everything, but it looks like again they're just gonna knock on the door here for the Nexus. They might try to end it. There's the jump in right there. And are they able to get this out in there? Koane in the back lane, but there are some stasis being popped as well. TK get taken out. And again, Koane, 1 versus 3, not going to be able to make it. Fiora finally going down, but the Nexus being locked on here. And that's going to take game 1 for PNU SULO in this series.
Game 1 for PNU, I think LG did the best that they could there. Based on their team composition, they did what they can. It's just the problem here started when Blasphemy racked up those kills. After he racked up those kills, nobody can even survive when he goes on the hunt and when he hits those squishy targets. For example, someone like Atricium. Atricium can't even play the game because he's always scared of the threat of Blasphemy here. And also Milan is also a threat. When he goes in with the Moonfall, that's basically a dead Atricium. So that is just a hard position for LG. So I think they need to think about more of this team composition because the disengaged team composition was actually good. That's good mindset. That's good thinking for the members of LG Esports. They just need to execute it really well. When they press those emergency buttons, they need to be on time.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I mean, they had the right idea,
Yep.
but just the execution, they actually didn't even get the time to really execute because
Mhm.
you have to think, the entire time, like you said, when Rengar is getting those kills, it really turns the tide of, really turns the tide of team fights and everything else.
Yep.
So what they can't do is let PNU get Rengar, and if they happen to get Rengar, you really cannot afford to give those early kills to him because it just turns things in favor of that team. The more and more kills that he gets with a passive and just everything, and the challenging smite even, and it
Yeah.
makes it really hard to really come back from that.
Yep.
Not to mention just the entire team performing really, really well. And they really need to give the opportunity there to really have their mid or their ADC shine, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, LG just did not get that opportunity in that game one.
Because before everything snowballed there, nice. So what I've seen from LG is that they're not trying to get find a chance to actually engage with their team composition because they have the tools. They have the tools to engage. They have the tools to go in. When you let your enemy, for example, PNU SULO, you let them rack up those skills. You let them snowball. They'll just the gold lead will just stabilize,
Built.
and that's just
Yeah.
gonna go up and up, and you can't do anything if you don't do anything to disrupt it. Like what happened here, I think you would have a problem, especially in the late game. Look at how Zaya Maze was so fed during that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, Zaya Mays on that Kaisa, super confident, right? And that's what Kaisa really is meant to shine. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Kaisa is meant to shine when, for confident players, but we've seen it before too, where overconfidence can happen too on
Mm-hmm.
Kaisa. You
Yep.
can put yourself in a bad situation. But the thing is, there, at that in that current game, you know, Kaisa had all those items that he needed, and he could just go in with killer instinct and be totally
Yep.
confident.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess in terms of game two, LG does just need to have an answer for these problems. I think especially with the jungle. Even if TK got his lease like Lee
Yeah.
Sin, unfortunately he couldn't do much with Lee Sin
Yep.
because of those early kills in that first scuttle. There's almost always early action for those first scuttles that come up, and
Mm-hmm.
really there is ways to, as a team, there is ways to secure that scuttle. And if you don't, there we've seen it before, both teams
Yep.
not having any kills on that first scuttle, there's some action, right? But then they break
Mm-hmm.
off, and that's actually a better situation rather than dying over the first scuttle, giving possibly those kills to a Rengar or an ADC or a mid, and then that snowball continuing. Because usually what happens if there's two or three kills in that first scuttle, they get the second one as well, which
Yep.
puts the jungler further and further and further ahead. So it's kind of, execution wise, can happen even in the first 2 minutes of the game when it comes to these scuttles battles.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on the junglers right now. So when we're talking about Wild Rift, because they are the ones setting the face of the game. Because if you don't have the junglers, it's basically just farming for all the lanes, and the junglers are the ones setting the face. And if you don't help your jungler, from what I've seen there, Solo was actually rotating with their jungler when they're trying to get the scuttler. Even the top rotated just for those fights. That's what's good here with Solo. They have the macro play on hand, and that is what their strength is here today. But before we continue right there, everybody, the University Alliance Cup wouldn't be a thing without our amazing sponsors and partners. UAC 2021 is powered by Globe Telecom, our official telco sponsor, ASUS ROG Phone 5, our presenting sponsor, Logitech G, our gear partner, Riot Games, our publishing partner, and Twitch Shouldn't, our platform partner.
Yep. Thank you to our sponsors, and we're looking forward to getting our hands on an ROG, aren't we?
Yeah. We are looking forward to getting that
I've,
caster money, spend it on our
yeah,
ROG Phone 5, right? So,
I
so
know,
we
I've
can
heard
play
good
Wild Rift
things.
better, right?
Yeah, I've heard good things. But of course, yeah, thank you to our sponsors for making this possible, especially, a collegiate cup like this. I think, before we get into the next game, the next draft for the series,
Mm-hmm.
it is an amazing thing, an amazing opportunity for these players, these organizations, and these colleges to really
Mm-hmm.
have kind of this platform for collegiate esports, because there
Yep.
really isn't that many college level tournaments, uh, I guess here in the Philippines, and there's
Yep.
more and more happening
Mm-hmm.
for various games, and I think it's a great opportunity because it's always nice to see kind of these rising talents especially at the college level. And I mentioned this yesterday too over on the English cast on Twitch. And I
Mhm.
was sitting there talking with OSX, and I was
Yep.
like, man, this is such a nice thing because who knows if any of these college, these college players that we see in this tournament might end up in the pro scene someday,
Right. Right.
depending on where Wild Rift goes in the future. And there's already a Worlds announced, right? So who knows what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But just it's a great platform for college players to really show off their skills. And I think, just thank you to the sponsors, especially of course to Globe, Riot, and everybody else involved in this. So we are getting prepared for this draft, and we're going to be heading there shortly.
And yeah, also I would like to shout out to our partners at Logitech G. If you're looking to supercharge your gaming setup so you can hashtag keep playing, check out Logitech's amazing gaming gear at logitech.acadarena.com or type exclamation point Logitech G in the chat for a 10% discount for a minimum of 1,750 purchase on any Logitech G products. And let's get into detail on that ROG Phone 5 right nicely.
Mm, the details, the
Yeah.
close details on the
Yeah.
okay. I mean, specification wise,
Yep.
right? It's basically like how simplest way to I will get into specs, but the simplest way to explain it to the
Mm-hmm.
people watching is pretty much it's a computer and a phone,
Yep.
right? It's literally a computer and a phone. I mean, my monitor that I have on my PC is a 144 hertz
Yep.
monitor, and that's what that phone has. Not to mention that huge battery life built into it. I believe it's like 6,000 the
Milliampere or
measurement, yeah,
yeah.
milliampere of the battery for the phone,
Yeah.
so that can let you game all day long. Especially now that there's like games, like Wild Rift that can be run on ultra mode.
Mm-hmm.
Other games out there that have that pushing the boundary video graphic
Yep.
settings. So
Exactly.
great phone, that ROG 5, and it's literally a computer and a phone, and I think it's a great. And it's probably amazing to play Wild Rift on. Like I said,
I can imagine,
I can
right?
imagine, yeah. So we now are in this draft dash and we have the bans and we're going to be seeing those picks shortly.
Okay, so back to this ban. So Gragas has been banned. That is actually a good play from Aldershot since a while ago. The disruption from that cast is really crucial. For this last ban, Diana, this is good. They need to ban this Diana. What's good here is that SULO doesn't even ban those comfort picks of the members of LG. For example, TK's Lee Sin, because Cowain's Akali, they don't even ban those because they know they can actually have a chance to fight them. And a while ago we saw that they can actually fight those comfort picks of Loyola Gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because I okay, I was going to say we're going to see an Akali for sure.
All
Um,
right. And
Akali.
again, the Lee
Yeah,
Sin.
and Lee Sin. So maybe, TK is thinking, "Hey, I got this, guys. I'm going to pick Lee Sin, and we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're gonna execute this a little bit differently." But again, they have that Akali. They have Corki once again, and maybe they're going in with the same idea this time. A little bit of tweaks. We see that being
Ooh.
shown in Seraphine here, and we'll see. Maybe they'll execute it better this time. And over on Sulo's side, again, we see a Ziggs being shown, a
Ah, there
Galio.
you go.
Not surprised by seeing a Rengar pop up there. So,
Yep.
very similar picking here, and we're just gonna see how things come together here in the next few seconds.
Yeah, and having this Corki versus Ezreal, it is a classic, very classic Dragon Lane matchup for especially for UAC. You always see this matchup. And usually Ez gets the upper hand later on in the game. But right now, Malphite getting picked. So
I
I
like it.
think yeah, LG Esports wants the Wombo combo here with the Seraphine Encore and the Malphite Unstoppable Force. If they actually manage to pull these combos off and they don't get behind from PNU SULO in the early game. Maybe they have a chance to tie this series up.
Yeah, I like that Malphite's being chosen.
Mm-hmm.
Because we honestly haven't seen Malphite that much.
Yep.
We have really throughout tournaments and stuff, we haven't seen Malphite that much. So, I like Malphite and Seraphine combo together. As you mentioned, an encore into an unstoppable force is really strong.
Yep.
And this could be what LG needed to really execute better, pull this off. They have the tools here, and we'll just see how things go this time around.
Yeah. Look at those esports foes for postings for our players right there on on our screens right now. But looking at the team composition, PNU Solo, I think it's not as cohesive as I think their team composition is, because they have people that could actually go in, and they have the spoke champions on their team composition. So that's maybe a backup plan for the late game for Ziggs and Zayamaze here to actually rack up those stats and have a better hand in the late game. So it's looking like it's a backup plan, basically
Yeah.
for PNU Solo for the late game. And the early game, if ever they rack up with this Blasphemy and Flaco here going in on those cheeky engages, that would be good for PNU
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah, I think it'd be good for them. And then, of course, again, Alter Shot versus Anito on this Camille. I always think that's going to be. I always think Baron lanes are interesting matchups because
Yep.
they're they're usually in their own worlds, but at
Mhm.
the same time, depending, like I'm sure we're gonna see Alter Shot pick up a teleport because he has so much presence on with Malphite's Unstoppable Force, especially for objectives later on. We'll see if he picks up a teleport, but I'm gonna
Yep.
assume he will. And then again, even a Camille, Anito on the Camille, just so mobile, has that Hextech ultimatum as well to really help lock down targets. And I think that's really what this time around PNU is going for. Again, locking down those targets. But at the same time, they also have a ton of poke potential between a Ziggs and an Ezreal.
Yeah, what's good with the Camille pick here is that Camille has true damage, which is good against a tanky boy or a beefy boy, for example, like a Malphite here.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be an interesting scene if ever. Alter Shot could. No, I think Anita has the advantage in top lane, and I think that flash has been
That's
used
gonna be
by
a
TK
flash.
already.
Yeah, early flash coming out.
Yeah.
And I think,
Very
it looks
crucial.
like that Scuttle. That Scuttle went to PNU there. I think he just didn't want to fight. And this, I mean, that's okay, though. It's
Mhm.
better off, you're better off burning a flash than dying,
Yep.
Especially when you're a jungler. And now they're going to be working here. Blasphemy getting caught with Coane's
Ooh.
and there's
Yeah,
the passive. He's going to go ahead and take some damage here. He's got to flash out as well.
Oh no.
Back out with a knockup, and there's the flash once again. TK here now showing up to the party. Zaya Maze working on this Ezreal on top of the Corki. Everybody's just going to go ahead and back off once again. The Scuttle is still up. Everybody's pretty low, though. I don't know if they're going to contest for this or not, as Cohen is also low. There's the connection on top of Milan. Does Milan get taken out? No, sir.
Oh, Milan, no.
Pops both summoners to survive. No flash, no barrier available. And again, now
Oh no.
with the ultimate, everybody's solo. Even TK is going to go for
Oh no, Cohen.
Cohen's going to get caught out here.
Oh
The first blood
no.
once again going to Rengar. I said it before. And Rengar again getting that first blood for game number 2.
Yeah, as you said, Naisu, Rengar always gets that first blood for Blasphemy, even for Blasphemy here. But I like what LG is doing here. They are rotating really fast, and they want to get those first kills. I'm liking the proactiveness of the members of LG Esports here. They're trying their hands to actually get those. But what's wrong here is that PNU Solo again got both of the scuttlers, and again Blasphemy is on an advantage than TK again. So this is gonna be dictated by Blasphemy's rotation proactiveness again, and this would be bad for LG if they don't find an answer for it.
Yeah, and very similar situation to game 1. If LG isn't able to contain Blasphemy on the Rengar, they're gonna have trouble. But I think they're doing a better job this time around, rather than giving all those early kills.
Oh
But
no,
you can
top
see here,
lane.
setting up for Anito, TK, and Kawane here as well. This could be the answer that they're looking for to get these picks off. Anito could be in trouble. Here comes both teams. There's the Unstoppable Force, and that's going to be an easy kill right there for LG as they take down Anito on that Camille. Now they're working on the turret, but again, here we go. Corki getting caught out by the damage from Blasphemy. Once again, they're giving these kills to Blasphemy as well because they want to feed that Rengar, and now they're able to start the dragon as well here.
Yeah, they actually put their advantage back after getting that kill, and now they have the Ocean Drake, which is pretty crucial on their team comp. Now they have more sustain with those physical and magical buffs, but look at top
Anito,
lane,
the Hextech ultimatum coming out, and now they're working on Ultra Shot. Ultra Shot getting taken out, the hook shot connecting, and now the 2 versus 2 situation. Middle for this hero's entrance coming down. TK still alive. Flacco get the taunt. Nice taunt off right there. Akali connecting there, and there you go, the encore. But it's not going to be enough. Paradox trying to run away. The Blasphemy right on top of Paradox. That's going to be a double kill once again for Blasphemy on this Rengar. And there you go, man. Action everywhere on this map.
Look at this ROG replay. That Hextech ultimatum from Anito was perfect for them to set up these skills. But what I'm surprised here, Naisu, is that Kawain was able to take 2 down before he actually went down.
Yeah.
That's actually good. This is what I want from LG. They try to take the matters in their own hands, and that's good. Because if they don't, they would just lose out on PNU SULO gaining that gold advantage right here. And now LG is trying to try the best that they can to actually take this one in their favor. But PNU SULO still has that advantage, and I think the pressure is on TK here. TK needs to get onto those ganks, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
DK definitely needs something. I mean, look at Blasphemy 4-0-0 on the Rengar. Has that Triforce. This is a very similar
Man.
Rengar from game 1, right? So he set the
Crazy.
pace for PNU, and PNU is just following up, on Blasphemy's calls, which is really how it should be. But again, LG doing a lot better this time. And as you mentioned, we have Koane on the Sakali doing what he can do best and really providing value on the team. And he's got the Leandros right now. So if Koane can really get into these team fights and just go in and out on Akali, put out the damage, and hopefully perfect execution somebody, it will turn out for a win for them. We're going to see too, because Encore is also one of the keys they can use, but Paradox doesn't currently have Encore, so they know they need to buy time before Rift Herald comes up, because they need those ultimates.
Yeah, and they also have the package from Atrixium here, so this would be very crucial. If they could divide the fight, look at this one, Naisu, Flacco.
Yeah, there's going to be a little poke here. Again, they do have that poke damage from PNU. Yeah, we saw here Ultra Shot getting picked off here, unfortunately, and now here comes the rest of the team, and there goes Koane as well. Look at the damage coming out, and there you go. The hero's injured as well. Is he going to be able to escape? Corki going to go down, and that's going to be a triple kill for Blasphemy. Here we go.
What was
Ladies
that?
and gentlemen, that's going to be an early ace as well. There was so much action on both sides of the map, like both sides of that river there.
Man,
Take it down.
I don't know. Look at this ROG replay, everybody. Look at this CK. TK would just fall down really fast. Look at the damage. That was just crazy. This is what's gonna happen if that Rengar could rack up those skills. He's just stacking those attack damage. But whoa, sorry, Zaya Mace actually got the kill again on TK. And TK is slowly crumbling to the pressure here.
Yeah, I think, again, they're just objectively around the objective fights. LG is finding it really, really hard to, go toe-to-toe. And right now, they're down a Dragon, they're down Rift Herald. Their jungler is behind, and they need to try to really bring TK up. And TK is not out of the game by no means. There's still a lot of potential here for LG's team composition. It's just going to come down to how can they help TK, how can they help each other, and we have another Dragon coming up in 15 seconds. And again, Blasphemy looking for Koane and the damage once again. There's a challenging smite. Does take him down. There's so much jumping from Blasphemy. Everybody's focused on him. There you go, the True Shot Barrage coming out as well. And now everybody in the back portion of the map, middle lane, just poking with these Zig bombs as well. Flacco looking for a kill if he can get one. And there you go, Anito as well. Here's the replay. Break it down, Dash.
Look at this ROG replay, everybody. That Blasphemy, that damage coupled with the ultimate from Millen and also the True Shot Barrage is really good right here. So from what you're saying a while ago, Naisu, those helping hands that this junglers are having are actually good. If they get some help from their teammates, for example, Millen and Zaya Mace don't even need to put much. They just need to actually use their ultimate from afar, and that's enough to help Blasphemy.
Yeah, and it was a nice True Shot Barrage on top of all those jokes of Blasphemy. Oh, Paradox gonna get caught out here once again, and legendary Blasphemy at 8-0-3 on this Rengar, still holding that Rift Herald as well. And again with the 2 dragons, and now his eyes are set on Koane here.
Oh no, they know.
Anita knows he's in there. There's Blasphemy showed up to the party. TK here to help. Can they help him? Koane in the shroud. Blasphemy just waiting. He wants to get near the bush. Hextech ultimatum coming out. TK is getting really, really low. Does get taken out. And now they're working on top of Koane, but Koane able to survive as well. Never mind the double kill for the Ezreal right there. What a turn of events there. And they just caught them out one more time.
Man, 18 kills on the board, and that's just, wow, look at the damage from Millen. Half HP on Paradox with just a satchel and the bomb right there. So that is just something to look out for. Oh, the
The
unstoppable force.
knockup, and that's not going to be enough there. They can't
Oh
take down
no.
Taco because there's just so much poke coming out from Zaya and Millen. And there you go. That's what the poke comp really shines. And dropping the Rift Herald here now, they're looking to push into this Nexus. Once again, there's the damage. Koki's going to get out of there. And again, Ezreal, Zaya is just poking off here on TK. Now they're working on tier 3 mid turret. Are they going to be able to finish this one off? That's another turret down. Rift Herald up as well. And this is going to be PNU's signal to just recall, reset. They got the turrets they needed. They dropped the Rift Herald. And now LG needs an answer for this power momentum from PNU.
Yeah, this is what I like about poke champions, nice. They're just kind of like those slow burns, just like what Hyron and you said a while ago.
Yeah.
That's just the problem with them, because in the late game they're just racking up so much damage and you can't even dodge those skill shots. It's like you dodge those skill shots or you die. It's just you're playing a mini game when you play against them. So this is just gonna be really hard for LG ADMU Loyola Gaming, because they need to actually find a way to answer this, because they have Cowain here with a Kali, but what was that? That was just an ultimate.
I mean, I was just thinking about this, and Blasphemy working on Alter Shot gets the ball off and the fight as well. The challenging spite, there's the knockup. Alter Shot going down, and there's just not much LG can do at this moment. I was just going to mention Millen has this Ziggs, poke potential, not to mention the Shadows Enchant. And what he did right there to Seraphine was just pop the Shadows Enchant, poked a little bit, had the vision through the Mega Inferno Bomb, and just had so much damage. And that was it, you know. And this is the thing about poke comps, as you said, it's that slow burn. They're looking to kick a Nito. Nito, that's going to kick the hook shot in there. They're going to be chasing him, TK. And there goes the Encore as well. Everything committed to a Nito. Hexcycle made him come down, but the Baron Nasher has been slain. They did get a Nito, but unfortunately they traded the Baron for that. And now PNU in charge of this Baron power play as well. They're going to be looking to take and push in these lanes and possibly the top lane as well.
Yeah, this is what I think LG can do the best at the moment. They can just take the shutdown goals. They should just give the objectives, because if they try and take those objectives, they're basically just going to sacrifice it. They're just going to die to the members of PNU SULO, because their stats are just so much and they can fight at this point in the game. So they just need to pick those members who are actually trying to split push or trying to disrupt them from taking the objectives, and use those gold to actually buy yourself some items. Because if you can hold off for so long for the members right here of LG, they can actually have a chance here if they could just play around those. But I'm just saying, that's a 1 to 5% chance of winning, but still, that's not zero.
I mean, at this point, you know, PNU really in the driver's seat, you know, more than almost 20,000 gold up. There's not much LG can do at this point, but just kind of delay the game. And because realistically, you know, PNU has all these dragon buffs. And look at the initiation, the damage coming out as well. The true shot barrage is doing so much. And again, as I just said, they're looking to take this series. PNU showing up strong, the double kill from Millen, and now they're going to be working on the Nexus. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the series going over to PNU, going 2-0. Again, a strong showing from SULO.
Yeah, PNU, very clear win. Yeah, for a very, very clear win against ADMU Loyola Gaming. I think what happened there is that PNU SULO just played to their win conditions. They just got the advantage. So I think Blasphemy is a really key player right here. Look at that. Look at how much he's
showing up.
Yeah, his skill participation right there is just so much. And that is something to look out for. These junglers are the people to look out for in teams like this in UAC, because they are just good with those rotations. And what they need to do is communicate with their team and find a way to actually help these junglers, because these junglers are gonna dictate the face of the game.
Yep. Moral of the story: don't give Rengar to Blasphemy, because he's just performed so well, man. But that is it, guys. That was PNU with the 2-0 right there. And there's one more series, I believe, for the day. We have been your casters. I believe Dash will be joining you for the next one, but I think that's with Infinity. So thank you guys very much for joining us. We're going to go on a short break, and we'll see you soon.
Why don't you watch me do my thing? Reinvent the world, yeah. Just to be more, just to be better, just to evolve, just to be more, just to be better, just to evolve, just to evolve. Every time the world spins round, reinvent do my thing.
Take it to the next level with Globe's fiber, LTE Advanced, and 5G mobile connection. Now you have the power to reinvent your world. Globe.